Hello guys, welcome back to the Do It Right Tech channel where I take you through everything tech. And in today's video, we're looking at some of the best productivity features and quality of life upgrades added inside the One UI 8.5. Now, if you haven't watched the first part I posted, we covered massive visual upgrades and customization changes inside the One UI application. Also, in an earlier video, I did cover almost all the lock screen upgrades that came. So you definitely need to check those ones out, or check the card app here to look at all the videos that I've posted. But in today's video, we're going to be focusing on features that actually make your Samsung easier, smarter, and faster every single day. So without wasting much time, let's dive right into the video. But don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any video that I post. On that note, let's go. One UI 8.5 quietly added features that can genuinely save you hours. And the crazy part is, most Samsung users still don't even know they exist. You can now screen unknown callers before answering calls, record only parts of your screen if you want to, remove noise from videos live whilst watching, share files easier between Samsung and iPhone, and many more. These features aren't just flashy features. These are features you would actually use every single day. So let's go in. Remember when sharing between Samsung and iPhone used to feel very annoying? Like Bluetooth problems, compatibility issues, slow transfers. Samsung has massively improved quick share now. And honestly, it finally feels like Samsung's version of AirDrop. This is what you want to do. So now when you go into your settings and you come into connected devices, you're going to go to the quick share. And then once you're here, you're going to come here to share with Apple devices. Once you tap on it, you want to toggle this on, ensure that it's toggled on. And after that is done, this is what you're going to do. Should you have a file you want to share, for example, this image, you can now tap on share, take the iPhone that you want to share the information to, go into AirDrop, and then select for every 10 minutes on it. Once that has been done, you can now tap on quick share and wait. You're going to see it pop up right there, over there. Now you can tap on it, and on the iPhone, now you can accept and have the image transferred at top speed. Now the image we had here is exactly there, and it happens vice versa. So if I go to pick an image like this and I want to share it across, I can come here, scroll down, go into settings, and go into connected devices, then go into quick share and select who can share with me 10 minutes only to everyone, or just scroll down into the quick settings panel, scroll down again, and here I want to be able to pick the quick share button right there, hold on to it, and I'm in here to select that. Or else I can just tap on it, and I'm going to be greeted with this and select receive. Once that is done, the iPhone user can now share, and when they intend to share with AirDrop, they're going to find me right there and tap on it, and then I'm going to receive it here. Just hit accept and the image is here. So yeah, there you have it. If you transfer large videos or things, this becomes incredibly useful. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. This one is surprisingly useful, especially if you work with people in different countries or travel a lot. Samsung now allows you to compare the time differences inside the clock application, which has been completely modified, and the looks change. So what you're going to do is come into the clock application, and once you're inside, you're greeted with the alarm systems, which you can see is completely been changed. There's a gradient in the background which looks amazing. If you come here, you're able to find the different time zones where you're able to pick different countries. Let's pick Beijing. So now we can add Beijing, so we've got 3 countries here, and not only are you able to just see them, but now you get the option to select this conversion tab by just tapping on it, and you're going to have all of them this way. So if you are supposed to take off, let's say about 4 hours, if your trip from your current country is 4 hours, you know exactly the time is going to be in another country. So we scroll 4 hours, and then we know the time we're supposed to reach a particular country in case we're making some flight, or if a meeting is within a certain period, you know exactly what the time is going to be on the other side. This, I believe, is a tiny tweak, but it's very helpful. It doesn't end there with the features inside the clock application, because now when you go to set an alarm, previously you could pick a new alarm like that, set everything with regards to it, and then scroll down. Then you come to the background. Now when you select the background, you can come up here and select background, and now you get a new one, which is weather. With this selected, not only is your alarm coming with the name, but it's coming with the background that shows you the exact weather outside. So if you're somewhere and you're concerned about whether it's raining, sunny, or all that, with this setup, you would know the exact weather condition before you step out of the house or before you rush out. So minor tweak, but for me, I believe that is very helpful. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you a tiny feature, but very nice attention to detail. Moving on. Sometimes you want to record one section of your screen and not your entire phone. Maybe a tutorial, a gameplay session, or a specific app area. Because now all you have to do is scroll down, and once you're in the quick setting panel, you can scroll down again and look for the core recording feature. As soon as you tap on it, you're going to get the option to select full screen or select partial screen. So now you can pick a partial screen, and then the options you had previously still have them. Toggle on whether you want touches to be registered, and then hit record. Before the recording starts, you get the ability to move the selecting window to whichever space you want by holding that circle over there and then resizing it using the edges like that. So if it's this space I wanted to, I can pick that and now hit record. And now only the space here is recording. So only that space is going to record, and if I touch on that, I'm going to have this pop up as we're seeing here, and then we can stop it. So now when we go into the gallery, we're able to see this, which is just a recording of a portion of the entire screen. All right, so this is simple, and honestly, content creators are going to love this. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. Now Samsung is slowly building its own ecosystem experience, and now storage sharing is becoming way easier, because storage sharing actually existed before. If you scroll down and you went to settings and came to the connected devices, you would have known that storage sharing existed here. But now Samsung has brought it inside this space so that you have this option here. All you have to do is take your Samsung tablet or phone or PC and connect it to this. In my previous video, you can check in the top right corner here, I show most of the things that have to do with connectivity across devices, building a Samsung ecosystem, and this was actually part of it. So this allows you to share files quickly by being able to view the files in each other's phones using this feature. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. Now, it was just a few years ago that Samsung brought this audio eraser tool, but now this feature is honestly insane. Previously, the audio eraser tool mostly worked inside video editing, but now it can work live during playback. And let's look at something here. So we'll go into my other channel, which is the Do It Right _fitness. There you can follow my channel there, where I talk about fitness related content. And we're going to pick any video from here which is talking about fitness, and then we would look at how we can use this tool. Now with the video playing, we can swipe down into the quick settings panel, and we're going to see the audio eraser over there and the name of the application there. So you tap on it and you can turn this on, increase or decrease the strength of the audio removal. Once it's extreme, you're going to select the voice focus, and only the voice is going to be heard. So let's listen.
Periodization. Now, periodization is a training plan where you break down your workouts into different phases, like building strength, then switching.
You can hear the background noise.
Then peaking for power. It's a smart way of avoiding plateau and ensuring that you're constantly making progress. Think of it as a roadmap to long-term gains. All right? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with the next 10. Peace out. Hey there.
So there we saw a clear illustration of how the new audio eraser tool works on regular playbacks from places or applications like YouTube and Instagram. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. Now, Samsung's Edge panel just became way more powerful. Now, instead of separating things, you can actually integrate them all into one. So if you're looking here, you can see I've got contacts here, I've got applications here, and I've got also quick application settings also in here. Now this is made possible by using the Good Lock application. So this is it. You can go into the Good Lock application, and once you're in here, you're going to go into the Home app. Once you're in Home app, you're going to scroll down and go into the Edge panel. Inside here, we're immediately going to go to Integrate panel. And once you select that, as you can see, it merges panels together so that one panel can actually give you the ability to input several separate panels. So once we are done with that, we're now going to swipe on the side. And as you can see here, we've just got applications. So what you're going to do next is hit on edit, and you're going to see applications here. Now, if you look down to the left, there's a new arrival of items, which is applications here. We've got shortcuts here. So once you tap on shortcuts, you're going to get other application shortcuts here that you can pick and drop here. Then for contacts, you're also going to get contacts that you can pick and drop. So when I scroll down, now I can just tap on contacts like that, and they're going to be moved into the space right there. Then if I go into shortcuts, I can also pick from here. Scrolling down, I can pick Amazon search and Amazon order. I can scroll down through several applications and pick what I need. And now the panel is finalized. So once we're done, we can close it and the panel is like that. So when next I go to use my panel, not only can I see my applications, I can scroll down and pick shortcuts that I've added there or contacts that I can immediately call. Yes, but it doesn't end there, because now whenever you hold onto the Edge panel, you immediately go into AI select mode. The Edge panel is currently an AI select mode option. So the question is, how then do I move my panel from one point to another? Well, let's look at the AI select function working then. So we select and then we get the chance to do all things that have to do with the AI select. But now, like the upgrade will have it, we've now got the Creative Studio also there. So you tap on Creative Studio and you can interact with the image like that. To move the Edge panel around, you're going to swipe on the Edge panel and tap on the settings wheel that shows there. And then now we can go to handle, and immediately we're going to have that arrow down, arrow up there, and we can move it around. Basically, this is how we can now move the Edge panel around. Meaning Samsung is slowly turning the Edge panel into another AI productive tool or hub. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. So spam calls are getting ridiculous lately, and sometimes you genuinely don't know whether to answer or ignore. Samsung now gives you the ability to screen calls before answering. And basically this is how it is. You're going to tap on the call application or phone icon, and you're going to come into the top right corner here and tap on the three dots, go into settings. Once in settings, you're going to see the first option there, that is call screening. So in here, you're able to select the call screening. What it basically does is, if you come here and you select the call screening to be on, unknown callers, that's numbers that are not saved in your contact, aren't tagged in any of your call history, aren't emergency numbers, haven't had a call with you before, would immediately be picked up by an AI agent and have a conversation with them, after which it's going to ask them few questions. After they've given you an answer, then you can be reading the answer whilst it's giving you, and then you decide whether or not you want to pick that call. Either than that, you can also hang up. All right, so that's how simple it is. And to demonstrate, let's look at this. So as you see here, this is a normal call with a number that I've already saved on my phone. So call screening does not take effect. But what if I hadn't saved the number, which are some of the options that have been set inside the unknown caller description. Now I'm calling from this small phone.
I'm a call assistant recording this call for the person you're trying to reach. Please say who you are and why you're calling.
My name is Nee, and I'm calling to check up on you.
Thank you. Please hold while I connect you.
So now we can hear it call. So at this point,
Sorry, the person you're calling can't answer now. Goodbye.
all right, so we see it there. It tried to reach me by keeping the call ringing, but when I didn't pick up, then it proceeded to hang up the call. Okay, so that's how the screening feature is now acting. So that's how the feature works. Not only are you able to just toggle this on for auto call, and if you don't want the calls to be picked on your behalf immediately unless you set that option, you could always toggle this off. So when a call comes in, it's going to be like this. So when a call comes in, you're going to tap on call assist and you're going to see call screening. Then you tap on call screening.
Hi, I'm a call assistant. This call for the person you're trying to reach. Please say who you are and why you're calling.
Matt is my name and I'm calling to check up.
Thank you. Please hold while I connect you.
Then I decide to pick on no.
Sorry, the person you're calling can't answer now. Goodbye.
Alright, so that's another way also. But the voice that speaks, you could always change that voice also. You can listen.
This is what it sounds like when call.
This is what it sounds like when.
This is what it sounds like when calls are being screened.
So personally, I like this and I like the rates, so I keep it that same. So if you didn't know this feature, I'm glad I was able to show you this amazing feature that now might become one of the most useful One UI 8.5 features. If you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. Move it on. Yes, but there is a final feature I'm going to be talking about, which is the direct voicemail feature. People don't seem to have seen it, but I'm glad I'm able to show you. So now if you go into the core application and then you go into the three dots and tap on settings, you're going to find a direct voicemail here. So you tap on it and here you're greeted with the option to turn it on or off. So when you're unable to answer a call, allow the caller to leave a voicemail. Now this sounds like a normal voicemail thingy, except that now you get to set how long it should take before it goes to voicemail. So once you're inside here, you're going to tap on auto send to voicemail, and then you can select that after 10 seconds if you haven't answered it should go into voicemail, or after 20 seconds, whichever one you choose, or you can choose a custom time. Once you've selected that, the call after that period of time is going to go directly to voicemail. Whatever is recorded from there is going to be saved as a recording inside your phone that you can play or have transcribed for you. So if you come here, you can also see the option to use the transcribe assist in this feature. So you can have it there, you see there, auto transcribe recorded calls and direct calls. If you want that feature, you can toggle it on. Personally, I don't. So let's look at how it comes to play. And this one hasn't just got to do with spam calls, but anybody. So let's set it in this example to 5 seconds and let's see what happens. And again, I'm going to be making the call from here. So we're going to call and make it ring for 5 seconds and we listen. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Please leave a message at the tone. When you finish talking, you may hang up.
Hello, so my name is Nee and I'm trying to reach you about something I wanted to discuss. Now note that at this point in time, you could pick the call if you see it, but if not, it's going to keep recording. And once they are done, they're going to hang up. And once they hang up, that's it. You're going to see on top here the voicemail icon over there. So when you swipe down or when you go into your call log like this, you're going to now see them with the voicemail icon there. Then when you tap on them, you're going to see the microphone there. Tap on the microphone and you're able to play the audio. So there you have it. Several features, amazing, I believe. If you didn't know this also, I'm glad I was able to show you. Moving on. And that right there is part 2 of the best One UI 8.5 features Samsung quickly added. But we're not done yet, because in the next part, we are going to be delving into massive gallery, camera, recorder, and gaming updates. And trust me, Samsung changed a lot there too. We're talking about gallery AI updates, camera assistant features, recorder redesign, gaming platform control, gallery labs, and hidden media controls most people haven't even noticed yet. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't watched the first part, check the card up here in the top right corner after the video. Don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any video that I post. And let me know in the comment section which One UI feature has impressed you the most so far. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.